In order to beat this guy, you got to know what they're capable of doing. These slides were given to me out of a textbook in the back office in Dubai called the MetaTrader 4 Manager's User Guide. Okay, what? You're saying you didn't know they had a book? Did you think that $4 trillion is floating around without a book or some type of idea on how to beat the traders? Somebody wrote a book on how to take your hard-earned money away. The business is not random. Okay? Market makers can issue you a requote at will. You see the three buttons in the center: return, send, confirm, reject. They simply hit the reject button and you are forced to reissue your order, which in turn, the market's moving, you get requoted at the new available price. Keeps you from getting a good fill, getting a good entry. Market makers can trigger all the stops in a range. Left arrow says stop out, check the box. The right arrow, unlimited, across the board. We got X number of contracts in open float. At this price point, we want to hit the stops. They simply add that, hit OK. Notice it's in different languages. They hit it. Done. They got what they need. Market makers can toy with the spreads. You know those robots that work so wonderful in demo that are garbage? This is why. In demo, you get an aggregate of about 3 feeds, 3 price feeds. The aggregate of the 3 feeds is going to be much smoother than what you're really up against on a real account. In demo, since it's not real, they could care less about manipulating the spread, widening the spread to pick up the stops. They don't care. So what happens is you spend $97, which by the way is the refund price point for ClickBank. You spend $97 and buy a robot. Anything over $97, they got to give you a refund. Anything under, they do not. You own this robot. You put it on an account in demo. It makes $10 million in 25 minutes. You're jacked. You put your hard-earned money in the account. And then guess what? They take that little slider where the arrow is and open the spread on you. You'll pick up your buy side of the order, and the sell side or the opposite closing position side will never hit. There's a lawsuit right now, I believe it's with FXCM, that states this exactly. I think Abo sent it to me, and if I remember, someone reminds me with an email, I'll post it in the forum. Since it's a private forum, I could say the name, I guess. Can I, Kim? I don't know. The dealer is being sued for having these backside plugins and using these against the traders. Now, I want to say that not all dealers use this. There are some honest dealers out there. Usually the ones that are backed up by banks, or I know Kim and Scott represent good, clean dealers. But what I'm telling you is that this kind of crap goes on. That's why the NFA is trying to regulate this business and clean it up a little bit. Okay, did you ever open up 2 different platforms and notice that maybe one high of the day is 23.55 and another one is 23.57? Do you understand that the dealer can hold a price point with this plug-in right here? Here's how. He can set the high, low, and close on a bar based on where the orders are. So if the dealer sees stops at 23.59, or if he sees a bunch of orders at 23.60, he simply types in the high of the bar to go to 23.59. Let's say there's stops at 55. The dealer goes, man, we got stops at 55. Let's hit 59 and clean the board. Remember I told you his third objective is to hit the stops and clean the board? This is how he's capable of doing that. Okay, let's say there's pending orders at 23.50 or 23.48 on the low side. He doesn't want to activate those orders because he might end up retracing and going back down. He will make the low 23.52 and leave the pending sitting there and not absorb those orders because he doesn't want the negative drawdown. Okay? These tools give the dealer an edge. And understanding that these are out there switches the edge back in your favor. They know who's in margin trouble. Ever do something stupid and lift your stop and get yourself flashing red and black back and forth because you're on the edge of margin? He knows this. He has the whole list of who's in call-out trouble. It's on his desktop. There's a trade designed called a straightaway, which I'll discuss here this week, to finish these guys that are on the fence and call them out and take the balance of their account. It's up to you to know the call-out level of your dealer. You guys that are overseas, certain dealers have a 0% margin call. That means they could take every penny from your account. Some have a 25, some have a 50. They could even take the front side margin that you're using to hold your positions open. You need to understand this. Understand that when the traders are in trouble and these margin call levels are on the fence, the dealer will issue a straightaway trade to finish these people off. And that's where the straightaway trade comes in. And that is the only reason it comes in, is to take the money from the traders that are on the fence and flashing red in their account. Someone's asked me if I said something about FXCM. Do you work for them? Because if you do, then I won't say it again. Oh, I had to get a sip of Diet Coke there. Market makers manage risk against the open positions. Look at the summary line on the bottom of the slide. Listen, it's a business. They're in business to make money. Send me an email. I'll talk to you about FXCM. They're in business to make money. They're not in business to see you succeed. You're in business to make money as a trader. They're in business to make money as a dealer. That's the way it works. In order to trade the right way, you have to be in line with the dealer, and he's not going to come back for Fred for his one order. They're not going to move the whole market back to get Ben. It's just not going to happen. So trading in line with these guys gives you a major edge. This is every plugin I just showed you on the account manager's desktop. Anyone that runs this platform has this. And I'm going to show you a picture of what they're looking at in a minute, or what the room looks like. This is what they see. They know everybody in margin trouble. They know the open orders. They know their open positions, how much equity they have as a dealer to work with. Listen, some of you are upset about accounts. Contact Kim and Scott at Compass. They are the IBs for a couple of good dealers. They will get you going in the right direction. All right? Enough said about that. Contact those guys at Compass. That's why they're here, to aid you guys in getting good accounts at clean dealers. Okay. The account manager's desktop. He knows everything that's going on and the accounts that he's managing. You have to understand that this is what you're up against. Guys, ever seen this before? It's been floating around. This is one of the rooms at UBS. But UBS is not the only dealer that has a room like this. Each one of those guys is managing their risk, monitoring their equity, and looking after the customers. All right, I want you to understand that this is